everyone, and welcome back to Small Screen Sagas. I'm your host, Nicole, and today I'll be talking about from Season 3, Episode 5, entitled The Light of Day. This was an okay episode. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I mean, the jail thing was kind of cool, but I don't know. I didn't hate it. I'll just say that. It's not one of those episodes where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk about, but it was a decent episode. All right, we're going to go same format as we have been doing it. If it's your first time joining, we kind of go small storylines to bigger ones. When I started the notes for this episode, I was kind of doing it on location because the characters were all different locations. So I originally was doing it like Colony House, Diner, Matthew's house, but so it's all sort of mixed in. But I think I got it. So we'll see. We'll go from there. All right, so we're gonna do Victor and Sarah, not the whole Victor thing, just small Victor and Sarah. And this is before he gets to actually reunite with his dad. But he's convinced himself that his dad was a dream. And that's why he freaked out. Because he was like, I missed him. And then I thought, like, I'm probably just imagining that, you know? And that, at least that's probably a self managing thing or emotional regulation that you're trying to do for yourself versus I miss my dad. Oh, my gosh, I'll never see him again. To where, you know what, that was just a dream I had. That wasn't my dad. Never had him. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I like what they're doing with Victor. Still not too big into his story, but I do like what they're doing in the character. Like, I see him developing more and more. And I like where they're going. Like, the actor's really good. I'll just say that. He's like, he takes his material that he's given and he brings it to life real well. But it was funny because Sarah said, well, he'll love you no matter what, because that's what he was kind of worried about. And then she's like, well, I don't know if that's true. And he was like, you are horrible. You give horrible advice. And I thought that was so funny because people always do say that. Like, they'll love you no matter what. Well, you don't know that. But so I thought that was kind of funny. All right, we're going to skip over to the clinic now. As I mentioned, the scenes were everywhere. I didn't want to have to redo these notes. So we're going to do them the best we can. All right, so we first get Boyd tells Kenny and Jade how Tabitha is back, and Jade immediately runs off, which we'll see him connect with Tabitha later. And I guess I sort of forgot how close they sort of were, I think in season 2, maybe even season 1. Like, they've discussed different things, you know, and they have a friendship or at least an understanding of each other. They both went to the tunnels, everything like that. So I was glad to see Jade run off because he's like, okay, she's back. I need answers. I know she'll tell me. Kenny tells Boyd there's something different out there now. He's like, we heard it walking around. There's something different out there. And we did. We heard it 2 times, but I don't know why he felt that it was different. Like, what if it was just a monster that walked by? I guess the monsters don't come and try to shake the door handle or try to come in. I guess that is different. But with them having Kenny say this specifically, we're definitely going to see something in the coming weeks, if not next week, soon, because they don't just have him say anything for no reason. Randall. I don't know if I ever thought I would feel sorry for Randall. And I don't even know if I still feel sorry for him, but I kind of do, I guess, because he is a human being and they really fucked him up. I don't know if they want to have him looking like Smiley. I don't know. And he's pissed. And they're discussing it, like, in the clinic. This is after, you know, they already brought him in the house originally that night. But at this point when they're discussing it, like, damn, why did they leave him alive? What does this mean? Everything like that. They're like, they did this to him, so we have to look at him. So we'll have to remember what comes at night, so we can never get comfortable sitting here in the day, living a normal life, everything relaxing. They want to remind us now. Randall is going to be a permanent reminder. Every time you look at him, he's going to definitely have a scar if he survives. I have a feeling that maybe they did something to Randall that, well, I have 2 theories, and they're not even real theories. They're just thoughts that just came in my mind. But one is that Randall, they cut him up so he can be pissed and resentful and hate the group and maybe turn on them. They know how humans are, and they know how Randall is. 2, they did do something to him, and maybe he'll turn into a monster at night. I mean, I don't know, because it was night when it started, but I guess those theories don't even make sense, but I mean, those are just some I'll throw out there that I wonder if Randall really is himself, even though later on he does cuss at Boyd. Well, not later on, earlier from this scene, he does yell at Boyd, and like, you fucking left me out there, which was true, and we would have all done it, Randall. I mean, come on. You were an asshole from the beginning, and then also, if we didn't leave you out there, we would have all died. like for sure all died. And then also in the clinic, we get a small scene with Christy Mariel, and she's worried about her, but she tells her like, "Hey, I'm not gonna spiral because of this. I'm not gonna, fall off the wagon or anything like that. Like, I'll be fine." And Mariel does seem fine right now. I mean, even though of what happened and what they're talking about happened was the lady that died at the Colony House. I guess I should have started at the Colony House, but some of my I have Colony House towards the end. She died, and it wasn't Mariel's fault or anything. We'll talk about it more there. But Mariel here is telling Christy, like, "Hey, I'll be okay. Don't think this is going to make me, do drugs all of a sudden." Even though I'm thinking, even if she wanted to do drugs, she shouldn't even be able to have access to them, so it doesn't really matter if she wants them. Like, there should be no way to have access to them. Or, in another world, I mean, shit is that bad, just go ahead and do it. I mean, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So take that what you will. All right, let's go to the diner / the meeting, the big meeting that we had with all of our extras. You guys heard me talk about it before. I'm tired of seeing these extras. There's in a town that this small, we shouldn't keep seeing brand new people that we've never heard from before. Not to mention when they give them talking lines. We get one at the diner. So let's start off. We get the group. They're asking Henry and Tabitha about what happened. Dell asks if she really went through a tree, and she's like, yes. And Tabitha, I am starting to feel like I don't like Tabitha. And it's not that she did something wrong necessarily. It's that she's acting a little too weak for me. Like, I'm just, me, little old me. Shut the fuck up and tell people what's going on. Like, stop playing these games. Like, you can't be this, I don't want to say weak, but like, just so soft-spoken and meanly, and I don't even know the word I was trying to say right there, but it's starting to get on my nerves. Like, she, big bad wolf Jim, don't talk to her like that. They talk to her wherever she want to. They're grown, she's grown, but, she's telling them what happened, and then they're asking her a whole bunch of questions. They're hitting her hard. Did you contact anyone while you were out there? Did you let them know what's happening? She's like, well, no, because no one would even have believed me. And they're like, what the fuck? Who cares if anyone would believe you? At least you could have tried. Like, if you would have tried and no one believed you, that's fine. Now, I do get what they're saying. I really get what they're saying. But if she did exactly what they said, came out there screaming, well, she couldn't have come out screaming, but if she told them what happened, no matter what, even if she said it in a calm, collected manner, I think they would have still locked her up. Like, they would have thought she was crazy or whatever. Like, hey, we're going to get you the help you need. I don't know. Or you killed your family. They would probably just accuse her of killing your family. Like, oh, you guys have been missing. So you killed your family and came up with this elaborate story. So I do get both perspectives. And I guess also that what makes me not like Tabitha is because, girl, why didn't you just lie? Lie is right there. Yes, I told them. They almost locked me up. I had to run away. I barely made it to Henry. Like, that's all you had to say. And at least you would have been like, see, they would have tried, didn't succeed. Lie, girl. Do a little better. You too grown to be acting like, I just never been anywhere, and I just don't know, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, they were pretty pissed at her. Then they start talking about the tree itself. Even Fatima was upset. Now, that was surprising. Now, I don't know if Fatima was so upset because of the whole pregnancy situation that's going on right now, but she was like egging it. It was like group think is I think what they call it, and it was like a mob or something. It was like one person said something, and then somebody else, and it's like, yeah, like I'm surprised no one like threw a cup at Tabitha and Jim. Like, that's how heated it was getting, and everything like that. And they're like, well, let's just go find this tree, especially Dale. Dale was like a big one, like, champion for, hey, let's go find this tree. And Boyd tells him what happened. He was like, yo, I went through a tree and I came out in like a dungeon. Like, it's not, you can't just go to the tree and assume you're always going to come out the same spot and that everyone's going to come out in the same spot. Like, you don't know what you're going to, you don't know the unknown when you go through that tree. Which I get, but I'll still say this. Yes, we don't know what could happen when we go through that tree. Maybe we should practice it, but or I don't know. But the fact that they were just acting like it was a crazy thought, that to go to the tree was a crazy thought. Like, I don't understand why Boyd shut that down, and I don't understand why more people besides Dale didn't try to go to that tree, or even go, hey, let's talk to Victor. He's been here longest. Are you telling me he didn't tell us about this tree all this time? Or maybe test it. Remember in season 1, Victor threw something through, like an apple or something in the tree, and it came in like a few feet away in another tree. So there's other trees. I don't think later on what Dale does is wrong, because you have to try. We're not going to sit here twiddling our thumbs, or we're going to still continue having conversations and brainstorming ways of how we can try to get through this tree. Okay, we don't know where the tree goes. Well, okay, then maybe we can just figure out how to get to the lighthouse. Do you remember how to get to the lighthouse? Do you see anything around it that could help us find it? Or something like that. But then Boyd being like, no, we're not going to go through the tree. I'm like, don't shut it down. Explain the dangers, which you did, but emotions were high, feelings were high, voices were high. But I do feel like they should have had more conversation. It shouldn't have been like just shut down, like, no, don't go to that tree, it's dangerous. And then afterwards, after the meeting, I liked how Boyd was talking to Ellis, and he was like, yo, you and Fatima, y'all was rolling things up. Y'all were getting the people going. Like, what was that about? And he was like, yo, if you want to go through a tree, pick one. Pick a person. Who are we going to sacrifice? Who are we going to sacrifice to go through that tree? Turns out Dale decided on his own. But when Boyd was saying all that to Ellis, I'm like, yes. Do we not have any volunteers? Do we have any volunteers that wants to go through the tree, see what happens? Yes, we may or may not find out whatever happened to you. But, I mean, all you have to do is ask people to volunteer. Do you want to volunteer to go through the tree? You may die. You may be in deeper shit than you are now. Or you may go home. Your pick. And then later at the diner, well, it was technically not the diner. I think this was the sheriff's station, but I just continued it with diner because Boyd. But the officer, she comes to Boyd and says, she's sorry what happened. And he just needs to give the town people something to focus on, which I know she was trying to be good. Like, I mean, come on, she's been there less than 24 hours. Shit is crazy right now. I wouldn't even be talking about plans and all that. So she's doing much better mentally than I would have been doing. Not to mention, she did kill someone the night before. But Boyd, I was very surprised in Boyd. Fussing at her, saying she killed someone, which she did, and, go off and do your own thing. Like, oh, you just got here and you think you already figured something out. Well, maybe she did. Don't dismiss someone because they're new. But at the same time, I will say this. If you are new, come in and listen. You don't have to just all of a sudden throw out all your ideas like they've never been said before or discussed before. But in this case, I thought Boyd was a little wrong, the way he was talking to her. I'm like, okay, y'all stop acting like she just killed someone willy-nilly. She's not your wife, Boyd, okay? This was an accident. And it was a justified accident. Don't have me up here defending the police now, okay? But in this case, I'm going to have to, because it was just a freak accident. That could happen. I mean, if it was me, 5 people would have died, because I would have been shooting like crazy. I would have just been so scared. So I didn't like Boyd fussing at her like that. Especially because she's younger and everything like that. Like, you could have coached her or something. Give her some advice and feedback. All right, so I have the Bacta and the Fatima story part of this diner. I don't know if it's because it's Boyd. I don't know. Whatever. But we're going to talk about Fatima real quick. Fatima, she's caught eating the poisonous veggies. She's saying something's wrong with the baby. I'm like, Fatima, something wrong with you. Because you didn't just eat poisonous veggies. You were eating blood. You were eating a dead body last week. Like, let's not act like that didn't happen. And now you're being a lot more aggressive. I'm going to tell you a theory I saw online. I will say it's not my theory, but once I read it, I was like, oh, that makes some sense. And also now seeing this episode, and Fatima's more aggressive and outspoken, and, she's usually like, love, heal the world, just chill. But they were saying, what if Fatima is not pregnant? Because she did say it's impossible. And if she's saying it's impossible, she's somehow not pregnant. So what if these symptoms that she's thinking is a baby symptoms is really actually like her turning into a monster? And maybe that's why it's having the cravings. I don't know. That's what they said. And when I saw, I was like, oh, I kind of like that theory. So we'll see. And then we just get that quick scene of Bacta talking to Boyd, saying like, hey, you were just trying to prevent people from killing or hurting themselves and everything like that. I should have stuck up for you. I should have said more in that moment during the meeting in the diner, and I won't do it again. But she also says, like, shit is real weird here. She talked about her sister and how she's kind of like Boyd, and it was a cute little a small moment. I think they're giving Bacta a little more screen time. We'll get to know her a little bit more. Right now, she's a character that I just don't have any opinion on. Like, I just She pops up every once in a blue moon. She says a few words. I don't have an opinion as of yet on her. She's not like Tilly or anything. That's crazy. No. Okay. Let's get to Colony House. Now we're back at the beginning of the episode. But I guess I was trying to do it from like big story to little story to big story, and this was more bigger. All the stuff that was happening in Colony House. All right, so we get Randall. He's all fucked up. He's brought inside. This is the evening of still from last week's episode 4. And that's when he was fussing at Boyd. Like, you left me out there. Well, duh, Randall, you don't give a fuck. You would have left him. We know for sure Randall would have left. Well, I guess you don't know for sure. But I have a good feeling that Randall would have left Boyd out there if the shoe was on the other foot. If that monster was literally a foot away from him saying, take the keys, but we keep Boyd, and the ... was, or not, and we'll fuck you all up, then come on, Randall would have did what Boyd did. And Jen, just then, or the next day, when Donna's telling Victor his dad is here, Victor freaks out and leaves. He's like, it's not possible. I'm like, stop saying shit ain't possible in the world where there's monsters. So that sort of was like the tie, or the beginning of Victor running off, and him and his dad kind of trying to not necessarily look for each other, but the dad kind of looking for Victor, or waiting on Victor all day to return. And, we get that reunion at the end. But, yeah, we do get a quick scene of Victor actually coming to the Colony House. I was like, oh, wow, we didn't even have to look for him. He's right there. But, no, they didn't connect. But Donna afterwards does give Henry a tour of Victor's room. She also gave him new clothes earlier. But she gives him a room and gives him or shows him Victor's room and talks about how he used to have hope. Henry says he used to have hope that his son wasn't alone this whole time, and that he would learn what happened to his son. And it's just it was like an emotional scene where his son, who's now grown, lived. But then you're also seeing like the pictures, so you kind of know that your child didn't maybe fully leave adolescence or something. But I don't know what's going on in Henry's mind. Hopefully we'll see next week. And all I'm thinking is I'm calling bullshit that Victor has his own room, because there's like so many people at the Colony House. And now I'm thinking about it, Fatima and Ella share a room. But like, how does Victor have his? I mean, I know he's kind of in the attic, but how does he have his own room? And then there's like 30 people that live there, and someone was banging on the door for Fatima to open the bathroom the other week. So I'm assuming they don't have that many bathrooms either. I don't know. All right, let's get to the Matthews house. And I guess, I don't know why I felt this was the big one at the end. But we get Tabitha. She's explaining to her family, like, what happened. Jade comes in, immediately asks for answers. He doesn't even do, like, pleasantries, like, welcome back, or knock on the door. He just comes right in. And he's like, he wants to go to the tree right now. And this was sort of towards the beginning of the episode. So Jen at the time was like, yo, she just got back, chill. This is before the diner meeting. He's like, I can't, because we're going to the diner meeting at that time. So I don't know. I like that Jade is a man of action. Yeah, like, he's a little chaotic, but he's actually trying. We see him actively trying, just like Boyd. So we do see him acting trying. It's the other people that are just walking around like NPC players, just not doing anything, the extras. And it's like, come on, let me see. Let's talk what the cop was talking about. Let's see you rebuild. Let's see you guys do something. Technically not the Matthews house, but a Matthew herself is Julie going to Colony House, taking some of Fatima's weed. And she runs into Elgin, and they have a ball. So that's like a lot of the episode. Not a lot, but they have a ball with each other. They hang out. They end up playing dress up. They find a Polaroid camera. It was cute seeing both Julie and Elgin just be able to be kids, like be teens and not have the world on their shoulders. I do sort of call bullshit that there was weed there. Like, it's the Colony House. Come on. There was just weed sitting there untouched? Yeah, right. And then how did the weed grow if the fruits and vegetables are like poisonous? But one of the things she talks about with Elgin is that she like prefers the creepy woman that he's seeing, because now they're telling stories. So he's telling her what's going on. She's telling him. She's like, because all I hear is like screaming and scaredness. Like, I feel scared. What if this town is really just here to make us suffer by giving us hope? Like, they gave my mom, let her go home, then brought her back in, and like that's how they make us suffer. And I thought about what Boyd's wife said in like season 1. He's like, and she said, I mean, it wasn't her, it was like the ghost her, but she said I think in the RV when the Matthews first came, she's like, yo, it's hope, like, stop. Hope is what makes them thrive, makes the monsters thrive. You guys having hope. So I like that conversation that they had. And then if we want to just jump back in to, technically, to the Matthews house or Matthews family again. And that's going back to the house after Jade got there. I guess I should have did this whole part all together. But, he's like, let's go to the tree. Ethan's like, I want to go too. And Jim, I don't know if I feel icky about it because I don't like Jim, or I'm starting not to like Jim, or if what he did was really wrong. And that's when because he tells Tabitha, like, your kids need you. You need to be here for your kids. Jim, you just ran off 2 days ago. And now you're telling me I need to be here for my kids? Why can't you be here for the kids? Like, stop. I don't know. I didn't like how he said that to her, like, kind of dismissing what she's trying to do. Like, Jim, I'm actually trying to do something to get us out of here. Why don't you stay with the kids? And it's not even kids, plural. It's kid, because it's just Ethan. Julie's off doing drugs. I say stay with the kid and let her go and try. Like, we don't have time right now to be protecting grown adults right now. Right now, if you want to try something, understand that, hey, it could be dangerous, but I know you're doing what's for best for us. You're trying to get us out of here. And that's it. So I just felt like he was a little bit dismissive or condescending or something when he was talking to her. In the end, she's like, I need to go. Like, we got out of here. I could have did better. I was stupid. She says that. She's like, I was stupid or something. No, that was Dale or later on. But she's like, no, I got to do it. Like, let Ethan stay here with you. Or he tells her, let Ethan stay here with you because he actually went looking for you the other day. So Jade and Tabitha are back at the tree. They're looking at the notes on the bottles, their dates. And Jade's like, what if it's a date? But then Tabitha's like, well, it says 2659. Like, oh, okay. But I'm like, let's still not dismiss that it's a date. We already know it's a weird universe. What if there's time pulling in people from different universes, time zones, not time zones, but time travel. And I don't know. I feel like there could be something from there. But Victor made sense. He's like, you know what, right now it only looks like chaos. It only looks like chaos until you understand the pattern. And yeah, Jade may just be favorite character right now. But as they're talking, Dale comes. He's like, okay, this is the tree, huh? You just gone through it? Okay, go to the lighthouse. He's like, well, you suckers stay here and just twiddle your thumbs. I mean, it was so obvious it was going to go bad because he was so cliche, I'm an asshole in this moment. Like, he was like, I'll go there. I'll go back home and get help for everybody else because that's the smart thing to do. Like, implying that Tabitha's not smart. And he was just an asshole. And like, y'all sit here. I'll be the hero. Da-da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, the shit is going to go bad for Dale. Like, I couldn't have predicted that, but I knew something was going to go bad. And sure enough, Dale goes through the pool, you know, the pool that does not have the hotel attached to it that Henry mentioned earlier. But yeah, he goes through the pool. So he's stuck in that concrete. And before Boyd can even put him out of his misery, he does die. But it clearly was a painful death. And it's going to be unfortunate we're not going to see Dale again. Like, he's always sort of an asshole, but he's saying the things that you would be saying if you were there. Like, yeah, I could be really nice, but if I'm in a bad mood or I'm stressed, I'm probably not going to be as nice. And I guess I'm thinking of that for Dale. Like, yeah, right now he kind of seems like an asshole, but he's in a high stress situation. Maybe if he was just at home chilling, he'd be like really cool. But yeah, R.I.P. Dale. And then the only thing else we have is just to talk about that reunion with Victor and Henry. So we get to see Ethan walking with Victor and to go feed the animals. And look, where's Jim now? Jim, so you said Ethan stays home with me, and then next thing you know, Ethan's off with Henry, who he just met within the last 24 hours. But anywho, he talks about how Victor's sometimes grumpy, and you know he runs away because Henry's like, yeah, when I went to go meet him, he ran away. He's like, yeah, he does that. He's like, but he's my best friend. And he's like, maybe he just runs away sometimes because he's scared. That's what Ethan says, right? Then Henry goes, what do you think he's scared of? Henry, We are in a nightmare. What do you think? What do you mean? What do I think he's scared of? I was like, man, Ethan don't cuss his ass out right now. One, don't be asking a little kid this. Two, what do you think he's scared of? Like, come on. We're in a world where there's monsters. People are getting killed. There's blood. There's guts. There's traps now. Come on. That's no stupid ass question, Henry. But in the end, Henry and Victor G reunite. It was very sweet, very touching, very emotional. We'll see how that goes next week, what their relationship is, because it's not going to be like the traditional, of course, father son, but it will be like an adult parent to an adult child. Well, adult parent, a parent to an adult child. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm excited for next week. I'm excited to see what's going on with Randall. I'm excited to see what people say about the Dale thing, or if we'll hear more of it. Seeing Donna so sad, and if you guys know the actress that plays Donna, that is Dale, the guy that plays Dale, that is her husband in real life. So now they won't be able to work together anymore. He's gonna still come up to set and be like, "Hey, you guys, you guys got any work for me?" They're like, "Yeah, we killed you off. There's no way you can bring you back." Yeah, I thought it was a good episode. I'm excited for next week, and then we will go from there. Until then, I'm Nicole. If you guys want to be part of the podcast, hit me up, host@theverdictsend.com. All right, thanks for listening. Talk to you later.